Hello, collective. We are going to get a reading for Sagittarius for July 2022. Okay. Spirit, what's going on with Sagittarius July 2022? July 2022 for Saggies. What's going on with Sagittarius? What's going on with Saggies 2022 July? Clear channeling only, Spirit. Clear channeling only. Okay. All right, Saggy. Some of you might be running into some money issues here, and it could be from a lack of perspective. Some of you might have like misjudged your budget or not understood how much something is going to cost you, and it may not be okay. It may not be of financial gain either. Like maybe some of you are just wearing yourselves a little bit too thin here, and you're going to be needing to take more rest. On the bright side here, it looks like some of you are coming back into your Empress modes here. Some of you are getting past the point of relying on just emotions or just your creativity or just your need for things. Some of you are just plainly focused more during like more focused on the now, being more open with other people about things that are going on, being more open about what you're planning or strategizing, and it's freeing you, Saggy. It's freeing you. Whereas before you were just kind of stuck to this sword, blindfolded, stuck to the sword, and blindfolded. You know, like you weren't 100% about what's going on, what's possible, and what's not possible, what we can or cannot do, or get done, not get done. It's broadening you as you're opening up to people and asking for the help that you need, possibly from your children, because that's an Empress. You're slowly finding that you might be actually just be getting exactly what you needed, and it's surprising the shit out of you, I think. Okay, moving more towards the end of July, some of you might be wanting to stay home more, introspective. Some of you might be taking like a leave of absence here from your family situation. You may just like take off and not even know where you're going. Like you may just have like, well, which way do I go? North or south? Fuck it, let's just go. You may just decide to just go in blind, you know? That, or some of you might be having to travel for some sort of yep, some of you might be having to go back to like a hometown for your kids. Some of your kids might be asking like hereditary questions here, and there's going to be some shit that you don't want to answer. Yep, with that Ten of Swords there. Okay. For some of you, there's family, children, or some sort of somebody's interested in ancestry here for sure. Mentally, you don't really want to share. Yeah, nope. Seven of Swords reversed here. I mean, I think you will, but I think you're going to try to be selective about what you tell them about the past. Okay, yeah. Because it's not... Yep. Four of Wands, Page of Wands in reverse, both. Okay, so basically you're going to tell them what you know about it, but you know that in the past things have been recreated or dramatized or, oh, how we say, sugar-coated from the past. A lot of us face that problem when we're talking about ancestry or heritage of any type, because there was a lot of the time spent in the past where people didn't really want to talk about where they came from because they were either A, ashamed, or B, because it had some sort of shameful cloud around it. Like, you may have come from poorer circumstances. Some of you may have had ancestors that were persecuted wrongly. Some of you may have had, like, for way back when, maybe there was divorces, or you've had women that left their men back when that was inappropriate. Maybe children out of wedlock that you didn't want to talk about. Perhaps that's all coming up here, Saggy. For some of you, you're just wanting to really... For those of you who have been widowed, I feel like you're wanting to go somewhere where a partner has taken you. Or where your children, you felt like your children were well brought or well cared for, well taken care of. Maybe it's like an old house that you used to live in. It could be somewhere where you had a garden or where somebody had farm animals, perhaps. Could be. You could be dealing with, what do we got here? We got Aquarius, Taurus, Aries, Leo. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is generally who I get that who's gonna be questioning things from you. I don't want, or King of Wands, sorry. Okay. So all things considered, with the property value here, I feel like you don't want to, how do you say, walk through the gate to a new beginning anywhere else. I feel like you feel like you have enough where you're at. Like you're not against going to get like maybe like a lake house property or a vacation spot, or I don't know, like a timeshare or something, or just a vacation in general. I don't think you're against a vacation, but I do feel like you have things at towards the beginning of July that you need to take care of. And moving more towards the end here, Saggy, you're going to be in that energy of this is doing a lot to me emotionally and mentally. I've done what I can to get what needed to be harvested. What needed to be done got done, and now I just want to kind of rebel a little bit. I want to revel in it. And it's going to hurt. That Ten of Swords there and the Two of Swords, I think emotionally and mentally, you're coming to grips with like the reality of things versus how you wish things could be or should be. I think you're putting in the work at the beginning to figure out what needs to be done. Towards the middle, we're getting it done. And towards the end of the month, you're just ready to just get the hell out of Dodge, basically. Ooh, wee. Ace of Cups. Six of Cups. Yeah, somebody's definitely asking about the past. I don't know whether they want to be told stories or they want to know what made you happiest in your past or where you came from. It definitely could be your kids asking these questions, okay? Some of them might even have questions about religion or like long back heritage. That's where I'm getting here. Somebody might be specifically targeting questions about twins. Or if you guys had ancestors that were farmers, that could be something that's brought up. Or an ancestor that had very blonde hair, somebody that was very tow-headed. They may bring you a picture. You don't want to talk about this. I definitely don't think you do. I think you will. I think you are going to tell them, but I think you are kind of giving it to them with a grain of salt because things are fabricated from the past. Anything's not documented is probably fabricated. I'll just put it like that. If it wasn't written in stone or on sandpaper, you know, like it's pen and yeah, it's probably fabricated or uh, romanticized. I would say with that Ace of Cups here, I think you're de-romanticizing the past for them. I think you're letting them know what you know, but also letting them know that it came from unreliable sources. So take it with a grain of salt and do your research yourself. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this here. Ingwas, male fertility, gestation, internal growth, common virtues, common sense, simple strengths, family, love, caring, human, warmth, and the home. Yep. Some of you might be focusing on making a home. Some of you may be focusing on where your home was, whose dad was who, heritage-wise, like who was the fertility that created the growth that is happening now. Some of them may be having more kids, and that's why they're asking more questions. It might be about like hereditary illnesses and things like that. That may be what is kind of coming up here. Like, is there anything we need to worry about genetically? Because I found this picture of this tow-headed kid that looked kind of dysfunctional. They looked happy, but they're tow-headed. Or How come this set of twins died early? What happened? There's no documentation, or simple little things like that. And you may have answers for some of it, and some of it you may not. For some of you, there may be a very hard story about heartbreak. Like if you're going back to your hometown and you're trying to dig into anything, I think there's a lot of you that are going to go through some very hard emotional spaces with this. Like it may put you through a little bit of a dark period here. Almost like one of those things where you'd wish you wouldn't have went or wish you wouldn't have asked. Careful with that, okay? Just remember, if you're asking questions or if you're going, like, it's still home. Even if it wasn't pretty or it wasn't, you couldn't understand why they stayed or why they did what they did. Like, they're still family, and that was still their home, and they probably did what they thought was best throughout that circumstance right there, okay? Spirit's advice is take it with a grain of salt. Use your common virtues and common sense. Focus on the male fertility. So for those of you, I would probably focus more on your paternal line versus your maternal line. Be caring to the people that you're asking questions to, or if they're asking questions to you, be caring to them, specifically if they're family. Be gentle. Be gentle. Okay? Alright, Seji. Those are the messages that I actually, you know what? Let's look for signs here. Okay. Alright. For children, they could be talking about a tow-headed child or a set of twins with light hair, or ones that disappeared in mysterious circumstances because there's water there too. Maybe it was unknown, or like they just disappeared into the abyss type of thing. For some of them, they could be asking about a divorce or a marriage that happened in the fall. Some of y'all will be gravitating more towards, like especially if you're using astral projection, or if you're seeing stuff in your dreams, or even for some of you who are vacating, you may be looking for somewhere with a waterfall or somewhere with like lily pads and like still water. Lilacs could be significant. A red sunset could be significant. The wise owl. Maybe that's who you referred to, your elder that told you the stories. Again, with the farming, somebody could have been a farmer. Watch your drinking for some of you. Those of you who are drinkers, if you're dipping into your past and going to ask questions in a hometown, like be careful about your drinking, okay? It could open up doors that you didn't need to open. Those of you who are going into introspection, it may feel very cold, very dark. Make sure you meditate with your internal light on, okay? Those of you going on vacation may pick somewhere that's kind of mountainous, somewhere where there's good views, good scenic views. Or I shouldn't say scenic. What's the word for it? Aerial. Good aerial views. Maybe there's pine trees. It could be colder there than where you are now. The parties in your past, they may be asking targeted and specific questions about. They possibly wore a hat quite often. A hat, a bandana, a band of some sort around their head, on their head, maybe even a crown. This person may have had very, very clear moral values and beliefs that they're asking about, or that you're asking about, okay? And it could have to do with religion. Okay, Saggy. If you'd like a personal, the info's in the description box below. If the message resonates for you, please hit the like, share, and subscribe so I know that y'all are connecting with me, same as I to you. I appreciate every single one of you, and I love y'all to pieces. I wish you peace and prosperity.